Hi everyone, this is day 3 of my journey reading my book, Embracing Your Sensitivity. Today I'm going to be reading part of chapter 2. I start with a quote from me. Your high sensitivity is a gift. Be proud of it. Let it shine. Chapter 2, Understanding High Sensitivity. This is a quote from Dr. Elaine Aron. High sensitivity is a normal and healthy variation in temperament that is found in approximately 20% of the population. It is not a disorder or something that needs to be fixed. It is simply a trait that makes some people more attuned to subtleties, more aware of the nuances of their environment, and more deeply affected by it. In this chapter, I will reveal what it means to be a highly sensitive person. Sensitivity is a genetic personality trait. Did you know highly sensitive people are neurodivergent? Neurodivergent is a term that refers to individuals whose brains process or interpret information in ways that differ from what is considered neurotypical, i.e., the standard or expected mode of functioning in society. Has anyone said to you, "You're too sensitive," or "It's not that big of a deal"? Do you tend to replay conversations or comments in your mind, particularly if something has upset you? Are you deeply affected by others' emotions? Sometimes feeling like you absorb them? Do you notice subtle details others might miss? Does trying to juggle multiple responsibilities at once leave you feeling drained or overstimulated? According to Dr. Elaine Aron, high sensitivity is rooted in biology and is not a flaw. It's an innate temperament, not something that needs to be fixed. Highly sensitive people process sensory input more deeply due to a more reactive nervous system. When my clients learn this about themselves, it's a huge relief. All their lives, they have heard from parents, teachers, friends, family, and society in general that they need to change, that they were too sensitive or too weak. When I tell them it's a genetic personality trait they were born with, I can see their body melt as if their whole being is sighing with relief. For the first time in their lives, they understand they actually can't change because it's a genetic personality trait. It's like being born with blue eyes. You can't change your eye color no matter how hard you try. It's so beautiful to watch people taking in this news. It really warms my heart because I know exactly how they feel. I felt the same way when I learned I was an HSP. Did you know the brain of an HSP is different from that of a non-HSP in several notable ways? This is largely due to a heightened sensitivity to stimuli, which includes both external sensory input like sound, light, or textures, and internal emotional cues. For instance, HSPs tend to show more brain activity when processing sensory information. Functional MRI studies have revealed certain areas of the brain, like the anterior insula and the anterior cingulate cortex, are more active in HSPs. These brain areas are involved in processing emotions, sensory perception, and awareness. This heightened activity helps them absorb and process information more deeply. For example, when exposed to stimuli such as emotional content or sensory overload, HSPs tend to experience a stronger reaction because their brains process these inputs with more depth and intensity than a highly sensitive person's brain. This means an HSP's brain often processes sensory input more thoroughly, which can lead to both greater empathy and emotional overwhelm. HSPs often have stronger emotional responses because their mirror neuron system is more active. Mirror neurons are responsible for helping us understand and empathize with others' emotions. This increased activity means HSPs are typically more empathetic, compassionate, and sensitive to others' emotional needs. This is why HSPs tend to be amazing at reading the room and knowing exactly what each person needs to be comfortable. One of the most notable features of an HSP's brain is the heightened sensitivity to sensory input. Studies show that sensory processing regions of the brain, like the sensory cortex and thalamus, are more responsive in HSPs, leading them to be more affected by things like loud noises, bright lights, certain textures, or strong smells. For example, an HSP might find a crowded room or a noisy environment overwhelming, whereas a non-HSP might not be as disturbed by the same stimuli. This increased sensitivity can be seen in heightened level of neurotransmitters such as dopamine, which helps in processing pleasure, novelty, and reward. This may explain why HSPs are more sensitive to things that trigger positive emotions, like beauty or art, but also to disturbing stimuli like conflict or chaos. I remember when my father would play with the coins in his pocket, the sound would be disturbing to me, but my friend, a non-highly sensitive person, didn't even notice it, much less get disturbed by it. But for me, it was so loud, my whole body reacted in a very negative way, similar to when someone runs their fingernails on a chalkboard. Many more areas of the HSP's brain are different than those of non-HSPs, but since this is not a scientific book, I won't get into it. So now I want you to write in the comments and answer this question. How did you feel when you learned you can't stop being a highly sensitive person? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it to be informative. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel and like the video, comment, and forward this video to someone who might benefit from it. Thank you for joining me today. And if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, I do offer a free consultation. The link to that is in the description. See you in the next video.